Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm currently at AK Racing in one of their cars, and I'm going to show you guys this new SST tune or flash that everyone's talking about. You can buy off EvoScan. You can also buy it or get it from any of your tuners. So you don't mind the periodic inspection note. The guys have obviously got to reset that. So the main thing that I was happy with is now, if I hold this camera down so you can see, hopefully you can see that, I'm in park and normal, sport, super sport, instantly. You can do that now on the move, so I'm not like pressing and holding, so that's normal. There's park, sport, super sport, it's that easy. So I'm going to take this for a spin. This is the car that they have been basically developing their version of it on. So you can buy this from AK Racing. They haven't yet released it. So drive-in, drive-out customers can come and get it. People who've already had tunes can get this added. And you can also buy it off them and then get it remotely flashed. And they're going to be working with NRG Ops to do that. So you'll get AK's version of this software or update, whatever you want to call it. But basically what I was excited about was the fact that I can just change down normal sport, change into super sport while I'm moving. So that means I can go back to normal and use cruise control, so I'll be able to use that again, because you can't use that in sport or super sport as far as I remember. I think it's only normal. So then if you're driving and you are in normal using cruise control on the motorway, you want to drop down a couple of gears, do a pull, or you pull off the motorway and you want to do some driving, you basically had to come to a stop like I am now and press and hold to super sport. Now I can instantly, there's no press and hold now, it's instant, but you can also do it on the move. So that's a big plus. That's what I was most excited about. But the guys have played around with it as well, because it does involve also the shift points. So I'm going to leave it in drive. So that's auto. I haven't driven in auto in a long time. I'm going to take off and check engine lights popped up. Hopefully it's all good. Just told me to take this car for a drive. This is just like a car that they're using to drive around in and develop this on. So it's just a shop car. But so yeah, you can see that just shifted in a second. So it's now actually in normal mode. It's now actually got the same shift points as sport mode. So sport mode is kind of useless or irrelevant now. All you would need is normal and super sport. So it's already gone into third, and that's using more clamping pressure for the clutches, just like it would in sport mode. And it's meaning that you can just drive your car, and if you're staying off throttle like this, second and third, so you can see how nice that is. That's actually shifting in sport mode clamping pressures, so you're not really doing any problems, like you're not causing any troubles to your SST or to your clutches. So if I show you now while we're still moving, sport, super sport, did that while moving, while it's coming to a stop for a light. So what I will do now, when I get green light here, I'm going to take off in super sport and auto mode. So auto, so here we go. I'm got to remember not to touch the paddles. So that's already shifted into second. So that in super sport auto normally would just hold you at 6,000 plus RPM. Instead, it's shifting at 3.5, which is just crazy. So you can actually choose to get that as an option. So I just got my car flashed. The reason I'm doing it in this car to show you in the video rather than mine is because I have the digital dash in the way, so I couldn't really show you the screen and what gear I'm in and stuff as easy. But so Alan asked me, do I want this super sport and in auto, do I want it to shift as it does at the moment, so stay at around 6,000 to 7,000 RPM at all times, or do I want it to just be able to use like this? So you can see I'm in super sport auto third and I'm cruising at 3,300 RPM. That is unknown. But then if I can get a bit of a room, probably not really in this traffic, and I boot it, I need a bit more room to do it. But yeah, so I can potentially, let's get across. So I'm still in third. So that just shifted back down to second for me, like it was super sport, and it revved out to 6, changed into third, and now look, I back off the throttle, it'll go back into fourth, and it just lets me cruise again. So it held that gear thinking, oh yeah, he wants to get up it, he wants to drive hard. So I'll do that again. So we're in 4th, foot on the throttle, and get on the brakes. You see it held 3rd for a bit there, thinking that, oh, he still wants to drive hard. I had to slow down, it's a red light ahead, but yeah, it basically will shift for me in a pretty, like, I would still prefer to use manual, but you can actually use auto in Super Sport now. I feel like I'm saying that word too much, sorry if it's getting annoying. But so yeah, okay, let's test out normal, which is really crazy. So I didn't expect any of this. All I wanted to do was be able to flick back and forth on the move. So now I'm in normal and auto. So take off, really light on the throttle, and you can see it's shifting into 3rd, 4th. So what like a game changer this will be for like saving fuel. Because if you're not driving hard, it's not really doing any problem. It's not having any issues. The reason why I always didn't want to use normal mode is because I always want to be able to get, you know, some wide open throttle action at any point if I wanted to. So a little bit of more acceleration, and you can see it's into 5th, just cruising at under 2,000 RPM. So this is definitely a game changer. This has transformed the car, to be honest. You can now drive it in auto mode, which I just hadn't even thought I would ever do again. Like, I am in 6th in auto, and let's go. I want to do a bit of a pull in normal mode and show you guys that it's the same thing. Okay, so I'm in 6th. Gonna put the foot down. See, it dropped into 3rd. And normal mode, full throttle, and it held 3rd for me. And as soon as I backed off, it went back into 5th, and it's just saving fuel again and just cruising at under 2,000 RPM. So I'm trying to hold the camera while I drive. Hopefully you guys can see all this. Hopefully it's not just annoying and boring just looking at the cluster, but thought, yeah, I'm trying to show you guys exactly what this does and what the benefits of it are. So now while driving there's sport, downshift me once, there's super sport, and it kept me in 4th gear. Only because I'm now turning into an intersection, did it actually downshift into 3rd. There's 2nd, super sport and auto, gone into 3rd. So now I'm using super sport clutch pressures, but being able to just drive it in auto mode and just cruise it if I want to. But at any point, if I want to, you know, actually do a little pull or need to take off in traffic for whatever reason, it will do that. Like, this is a game changer. So if you guys, I know there's been a lot of people talking about this, and AK did help in the development of this with EvoScan and a few other people from what they were telling me. So this has been a long time coming. They never knew if it was going to work or not, and if we were going to get all these functions, but it's happened. And so yeah, AK have further refined. So they hadn't released anything yet, even though everyone's, you know, buying it from EvoScan, buying it off their tuner, and people are all, yeah, getting this software. AK hadn't really said anything because they just wanted to drive this car around and play around with it and work out how they wanted it to work, and yeah, sort of dial it in a little bit better, which they've now done. So it's now going to be available. I'll put this video out basically right after filming it, but it's going to be on their website pretty soon. And yeah, you guys will be able to grab it. Any of the, you know, Gold Coast, Brisbane, Sunshine Coast customers here in Queensland, Australia, can just head to AK and get it flashed onto their car. I believe it's actually, don't quote me on this because it's not my business, but I believe for current tuned customers, it's free. So if you have been tuned by Alan at AK Racing, then what you need to do is send them a message and say, hey, is that new like SST Super Sport and you know, cool new functions, is that something that I can get onto my tune, and what's the price? Don't be surprised if they say no price, just bring the car in and I'll flash it onto your current tune. But for anyone who is a new customer, I believe it is going to be charged, or as it should be, obviously. But yeah, so I feel like that's about all I wanted to cover. I'm going to flick it back into normal and take off from these lights when I can, and just do, I'll show you guys both. So I'll do a little bit of light driving, a little bit of acceleration, and show the difference, just that how quick it reacts, how quick you can go from just sort of cruising, saving fuel, and making no noise to making a bunch of noise and using a bunch of fuel and you're hitting some boost. So I'll pick this camera back up once I get a bit of a break in traffic. All right, cruise along the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, into 5th. So super smooth, but still using those sport clamping pressures. So not really causing any issues for our clutches, driving like that. Obviously don't want to go driving hard in normal mode because you are only using sport clamping pressures rather than super sport, but a little bit here and there isn't going to hurt when you're warmed up. Just the fact that you're able to use it is good. So there you go, I'm in 5th. We're at like 1500 RPM. Let's give it a bit of acceleration. So you see, went back to the 2nd. As soon as I backed off the throttle, 3rd and 4th. So absolute game changer. I'm loving this thing. So now I get to actually drive home in my car and have the same experience, but in my own car. So it will be totally different with a lot more power than this Ralliart. So yeah, I think I'm going to end the video there. Massive thanks to Alan and Keith at AK Racing for firstly flashing this onto my car for me, and yeah, letting me just take this Ralliart for a little cruise around and teach me about this new mode that they've got. This is like a big plus for the SST community. I love that there's still people out there developing for this platform. It just gets better and better, to be honest. So I'm stoked. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful if you've been looking into getting this. And yeah, leave me a comment down below if you have any questions. I'll ask Alan and Keith, is there anything I don't remember that they told me, and I'll get an answer for you. And yeah, put a link to their website. Hopefully they have it up on their website soon. You guys can buy it if you want to get it and you're in another country or another state, and you can get NRG Ops to remote flash it for you using AK's version of this. Then that's going to be a pretty good option. It'll be all included in a price. You can just pay AK Racing, and that includes them getting NRG Ops to do a remote flash for you. So that's pretty cool. Yes, I've done the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you're not already. But with all that said, until next time, I'll catch you guys later.